Hello guys and welcome back to another video. In today's video my friends we are going to be testing Radeon RX 6600 GPU in Robocop Rogue City demo. Now what we're going to be doing basically we are going to be checking out the different resolutions like 1080p and 1440p maybe. We're going to be testing different graphical options, and also one more thing guys, we're going to be testing FSR 2.2. Now as you can see the driver version here, we are actually using this driver version. This driver version yesterday enabled FSR Fluid Motion Frames. Okay, this is called AMD Fluid Motion Frames, and these are actually FSR3 implementation inside the driver. We are going to, at the end of the video, we are basically going to be testing this out also. So let's just go over the specs first. We are using a Radeon RX 6600, as you can see right there. It's on stock. We are using a Ryzen 5 3600, that's on stock. And we are using a DDR4 3200 MHz RAM, that's also on stock. Now let's get over the system specs right here. Let's get over the graphical options right here. We're using 1080p resolution full screen, and FSR 2.2 is turned on currently, which I'm going to just disable and go to TAA. I'm going to go to TAA and maximum output resolution. Also I'm using Epic settings right here. Alright guys, this only motion blur is disabled. Let's get right into the game now. Let's start counting the FPS. Alright, so in this area, this game is actually built upon UE 5.2 I think, and or UE 5 some version. And as you can see right there, I think this has those nanite and stuff enabled in the game, and there is no option to disable it for now. I'm just on Epic settings, and these, as you can see, the reflections and everything, this game looks amazing. And also it performs amazing. Frame time graph is very smooth currently. There are no huge stutters, but sometimes you get a little bit of stuttering, as you can see right here. Maybe this is the same as UE5 data loading bug, when you terrain loading bug. Yeah, so right now 35 FPS average with lows are very low. So this is loading new data. This game is installed on an SSD, so that is not an issue. Right now the data loading is not an issue from my side, it's actually the engine that's causing these issues. So outside we were getting like 35 FPS as soon as we enter here. The frame rate is the same as outside, as you can see. And yeah, the game looks also amazing. This area looks amazing, and there seems to be some kind of it's using nanite and lumen I think in this game. It looks amazing by the way. So yeah, let's just go ahead, and now we've got 36 FPS average. Let's go ahead and enable FSR2 2.2 on quality guys. Now let's apply this. Alright, so as soon as I enable FSR2 on quality, let's start counting the FPS. We're at 53 FPS average. That is very playable. So ultra settings, Epic settings, everything maxed out. We're getting like 50 FPS most of the times. Also going in higher 40s. This game actually looks better than most of the games these days in 2023, and it performs amazing also. As you can see right here, we're not getting much of a stuttering, but the game is performing good. Alright guys, so we are now in this area. As you can see right here, this has lumen and everything enabled. This looks amazing guys. So alright guys, I think that is enough for FSR2 on ultra settings. Now I'm just going to try to decrease the settings here. And first let's disable FSR2. TAA. Let's go to high settings now. Let's turn off chromatic aberration also. Let's apply this. Alright guys, so we let's start counting the FPS again, and we are now at high settings, and still at high settings without any FSR2 we are getting like 40 to 39 FPS average. So it looks like some increase in performance, but not that much, like 3 to 4 FPS more. As soon as we go out of this area, we are going to be able to check briefly on what is happening with the performance. So let's go out. Inside here looks like the performance is a little bit improved than previously. Alright guys, so we are now outside, and we are getting like, yeah, so we're getting like 10 FPS more than previously in the same area. As you can see right here, we're getting like 10 FPS more. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to enable FSR2 again on quality and apply this. Let it apply. Yes. So let's start counting the FPS. Now at high settings, guys, we are getting 63 FPS average currently. Lows are, as you can see, 1% and 0.1% lows are 6 FPS right now, because this game is has some stuttering issues, as you can see right here. So let's keep on moving forward, and please don't give me these things, game. Alright, so seems like every time I'm recording, these kind of issues pop up. Like there's menu pop-ups and these things pop up. I don't know if they want me to record or not. So yeah, we're getting like 62 FPS with some stuttering, and when I try to move the camera in FSR2 now, the road becomes shimmery. Alright guys, so now we're at medium settings with FSR2 disabled. Let's start counting the FPS. Now we were getting like 45 FPS average at high settings. Oh, a huge stutter, huge stutter. That is really bad. This is actually a Unreal Engine 5 data loading bug that happens in every Unreal Engine game. I don't know if they're gonna fix this or not, because every game that is coming out with Unreal Engine 5 is having these issues. So yeah, now we're getting like close to 60 FPS with 50 FPS average. We got from 45 FPS average at high settings to about 50 FPS. Now let's enable FSR2. Alright, so that was a huge sizable increase in performance, as you can see right there. 71 FPS, 79, also in sometimes in 80s. Yep, 70, 68, 72 FPS average in the same area. Alright guys, so we are now at 1440p resolution. I've disabled FSR2 currently, and we are at medium settings right now. Alright, let's get into the game. Okay, so let's start counting the FPS. Wow, very good performance, guys. This is a Lumen game, and if they fix the issues with the stuttering that comes from Unreal Engine, this game is performing amazing on an RX 6600. This is not a very high-end GPU, as you guys might know. This is a medium-end GPU for medium-range PCs, and it's still performing very good in a Lumen game. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. Okay, so let's enable FSR2 now. I'm really eager to see how much of an increase we will get. Okay, oh my god, like 57 FPS. 54 FPS average, wow. And this looks really sharp too, except for this shimmering on the road. I don't know if you guys can see it in the YouTube compression, but there is some shimmering on the road. It's decreased from 1080p, but it's still there. Yeah, so 54 FPS average on medium settings at 1440p. Now let's just try to turn it to high. I know this is gonna be bad. Alright guys, so we are at high settings now, 1440p, and I've disabled FSR2 currently. Let's start counting the FPS. Okay, so this has become now unplayable. We cannot go further from this in the settings, but we can try to use FSR2 in this, and it looks amazing too. Look at that. Look at those graphics, man. Sharp, crisp. Wow. Alright, so now let's go ahead and enable FSR2 to increase the performance a little bit. We're in quality right now. Okay, let's start counting the FPS. Still very playable, guys. As you can see, 44, 43, 45, 46, 47, 41, 42. When turning the camera, the frame rate drops, but not that much. Now what I'm going to do is and look at those reflections, guys. And what I'm going to do basically is, now I think that's enough for the settings, but let's try one more thing. Let's try it on balanced at 1440p. Let's start counting the FPS again. 52. So now what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to enable Fluid Motion Frames by AMD. We're going to enable it in the driver, and we're going to see that because AMD actually recommends to not use VSync in Fluid Motion Frames and actually be at 60 FPS when you're trying to use it. So first what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep the FSR2 enabled on balanced, and I'm gonna decrease the settings to medium because I want to get close to, yes, we're close to 60 FPS now. Alright guys, so to show the Fluid Motion Frames, I tried to enable the OSD, that is AMD's own OSD, and as you can see right here, the Fluid Motion Frames is turned on, frame generation status is active. Right now we are not able to get any status in this game currently, so that's a bummer. I tried to restart the game several times but it's not working still. But I can assure you guys that while I'm looking at the screen, it only shows you 61, 63 FPS to 63 FPS in the overlay of the MSI Afterburner, but in actual game is running at about 120 FPS. It's actually doubling down the frame rate, and you can only view that while you're looking at the screen, and maybe you will not be able to actually comprehend that in a YouTube video. To actually see that, you have to look at a 120 FPS output, and the frame time lag is also not very bad. We're getting like 120 something FPS right now, which I am able to feel. I can see it on the screen that is very smooth compared to 60 FPS, and the frame time lag is also not very much, but you cannot see it in the video because this damn OSD is not working. The setting that I'm using currently right now is, if you guys want to use this setting, is FSR2 on quality, and we're high settings 1080p right now. Alright, I tried to enable it at 1440p. Maybe I thought that was the issue, but it's not the issue. It's actually the issue with AMD's own OSD. It's not displaying frame generation frames in this game specifically. Alright guys, so I hope you guys get an idea of this game, and I will see you guys in the next video. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.